animals. But when Eve showed, power left him. Samson was one of the strongest until Delilah cut his head. Power go. Solomon was one of the wisest. In fact, Solomon is one man that I like, one of the kings that I like in the Bible. The way he was described, he's a glamorous man, handsome, writer, composer, lover of women. King Solomon, no. That man, sometimes I say I visualize him. His greatness, you can't begin to quantify. Solomon had 700 wives and cheated on them with 300 concubines. Only one person. And this was before the invention of Viagra. I don't know how he did it. In fact, if he was still alive, he would be a motivational speaker. Organizing conference for men, telling them how to handle women. Because I don't know how Solomon, because that's about, roughly, if you do simple mathematics, about 1,000 women. And you're not even up to 1,000 women here. You're not even up to 500 women. So imagine that Solomon, one person controlling all the women here. I don't know how he did it. And a year contains 365 days. So 365 wives. That means the remaining, 600 and will just go untouched in a year. That is why when you look at their dressing, that had no chance to wear trousers or belt. Now robe. Because at the ratio of one wife per day, no time to remove belt. Is anybody you see, you help her immediately. Because, no. I'm trying to censor some things here because of the children. So you can imagine the rest. Solomon was that powerful. But when a woman came into his life, Solo's power. King David was the most loved by God. The way it was recorded in the Bible. King David was the most loved. But a woman make him and God quarrel. In the whole of Israel, King David, everybody knows that in the evening, he goes to the balcony to take fresh air. And that was where that woman chose to go and bath. For backyard. Knowing that the king would be out there taking fresh air. Then she went there to. Then David, fair woman, but fair woman for that matter, not like she's dark, she's fair. Then, having her bath outside, David called Luke, see the woman. Hey. And men, the way we are wired, some things are involuntary. Some things are, even when you're mad, if you've seen a very mad person, when you're mad to the point that you don't run intermarket, you don't get dada, then you know that person has so many years experience in madness. Even when they move and they see a market woman with leg aja, they go back, check. So you can imagine a healthy King David seeing a fool woman. No. David said, no, go. When I go call that woman. Go and call her. That thing she wants, she will get it. So you're very powerful. We can't even begin to question you. But we love you. You're the best thing, you're the best creature that God, without women in this life, men, you will agree with me, we won't have need to work hard. Wait till they get up for morning, go work when God has put everything in the garden. If there were no women, we would just wake up, climb the nearest mango, eat, hunt antelope, eat, and go back to sleep. Maybe play Ludo or what? Go back to sleep, wake up and eat. All this hustle and acquisition is just so that you can attract the best women. Men wouldn't have bothered to do anything. All these inventions wouldn't have been done if you are not around. The competition is there because you're there. Everybody wants the best, the finest. So we keep working hard. Any day we want to go another planet, we'll go to sleep. And relax. We can't kill ourselves. Because a lot of men, statistically back home, there are more widows than widowers. You know that. If you go to church in a typical Nigeria or, my village church, you find more widows than widowers. The men are going quick. Because we overwork. We not overwork us. They tell you, the only time your wife agrees you're the head of the family is when there's a bill to pay. Honey, you're the head of this house. And these bills are coming up. You have to do something. Then to defend your title as head of house, you keep working until you pack up. My father has been dead now for 10 years. And now when my mother, they even go abroad, they go places. She's even getting younger, and my father is gone. So I looked at this thing, I said, this head of family thing will not kill me. It will not kill me. After all, there's democracy, rotation of power. So I called my wife one day, I said, honey, you know, I believe in this democracy and power rotation. We'll be married now, it's almost 16 years. And in those number of years I've been in charge, I think it's time for you to take over the leadership of the family. Just be the head, let me just be following your instruction. My wife says, see you, so you want to run from responsibility. I said, no, it's just, let us equality. It is gender equality. I spoke all the English. I said, go, my friend, go and take care of your responsibility. So I'm looking at it now, I'm seeing myself as, hey, so at this rate now, who knows, I will go first again. And that's one thing about African women. They have a different kind of wisdom. In this part of the world, what is trend here is that you have a problem in your marriage, then you leave. You divorce, you go to the courts, they will grant you 50% of everything you have made together with the man. They split it. Tiger Woods' wife walked away with so much money. Michael Jordan, the list is endless. These women, they made so much money from getting divorced. But back home is not the trend. Our women are smarter than that. They are not ready to collect 50%. No. They'll just be patient. You will die. They will take 100%. Because they know you will soon kill yourself. They know your life expectancy is very short. Especially when you're being unfaithful. You're carrying women outside. They will soon kill you, no problem. You will soon contact something that will end you. The only thing she will do is ban you from coming to her bed so that whatever you contact will just stay with you. You will die of that thing alone. She will stay with her family for where? Stay with the children. Watch. They will just be watching you. Any day you're sick, they will go and check you. Once in a while, she will give her children an update. Your father is sick. You people be praying for him. A man was sick once and was dying in the hospital. So the doctors told the wife, your husband won't be able to make it. His situation is very bad. So as a family, just do your best to make sure he enjoys his last days on earth. Don't stress him. So while he was there, he decided to speak. The wife was by his side. Say, honey. The wife said, calm down, take water. He said, leave water. I want to speak. The wife said, shh. They say you shouldn't talk, just rest. He said, what? I need to talk. The wife said, okay, go ahead. You remember, you know that since we've been married, you've always been by my side. The wife said, yes. When I lost my first job, you were by my side. The wife said, yes. When I started my first business, you were with me. The day the shop got burnt, you were by my side. The wife said, yes. The day armed robbers attacked us and took my car, you were by my side. The wife said, now that I'm dying, you're still by my side. The wife said, yes. He said, come on from my side, you carry bad luck. It is any man won't give vote of thanks. I know women don't like that. Okay, let me leave women alone and talk about churches. I don't know